to be RH negative, correct? Otherwise, what's the purpose?
But
There's some circumstances where an RH negative woman will always be given Rogaine.
if she's had a O positive baby prior? No.
Prior doesn't help her this time.
No.
Okay.
For the second time, she had the
Right. Well, maybe I didn't understand the question. I'm sorry.
If she delivers an RH positive baby, she'll
Yeah.
get Rogaine because
Yeah.
she's RH negative.
Yeah.
It's given twice though, isn't it?
Given once, when is it given
Like
the first time?
28 weeks.
28
Yeah.
weeks, and then given again at delivery. Then based on the results of that fetal screen, Trihour, Becky, and all that, she might get more doses.
Okay.
So if she delivers an RH positive baby, she's gonna get it. If she gets an amniocentesis, she's automatically gonna get it.
Why?
Preventative.
Yeah, just in case.
That makes sense, Melissa.
If she has an abortion,
She's gonna get it.
if she has an ectopic pregnancy,
Okay.
she has a car wreck. Anything that can cause trauma can cause mixing of the blood. If you mix the blood, you can get anti-D. We gotta give them Rogaine. So keep like anything real traumatic in your mind.
Yes, sir.
Abortion, miscarriage, car wrecks, anything like that. If she's RH negative, as a precaution, she's gonna get Rogaine.
Okay.
What's one circumstances where this woman would absolutely not be given Rogaine,
If she's
other than that
RH
28 weeks?
positive.
Yes, RH positive.
I mean, let's assume she's RH negative. If the baby's RH negative, no Rogaine. She'll still get that 28-week dose because we don't know what the baby is at that point.
Yeah, I was about to ask that.
What is, like, the definition of hemolytic disease of the newborn, HDN? Sometimes said called HDFN, hemolytic disease of the fetus of the newborn. What is it?
The mother's antibodies will cross the placenta and it's reacting.
Yes,
Her blood is
exactly.
mixed with the baby's blood, and now her body is attacking the baby.
Mother's antibodies have crossed the placenta and attacked baby's red cells, decreasing baby's red cell survival. That is the very basics of what HDN is. What's another term for it? It's another term for hemolytic disease of the newborn. It's the fancy word.
Oh, the erythrofatalis.
Erythroblastosis fetalis.
Okay.
That's the official technical term for it that nobody uses, but you still gotta know it. What are the most often antibodies that cause HDN? What's the most common?
That's gonna be.
ABO, number one. What's number two? RH. And after that, Kel, Kid, Duffy. Almost any warm reacting IgG can cause HDN. By far and away, the most common, ABO, RH, followed up by Kel. What is kernicterus?
Connector is jaundice, whenever you turn yellow. Alright.
No.
Kind of.
Current.
Does have to do with the brain.
Oh, it's a buildup of
When the bilirubin gets so high, it begins to crystallize and cause brain damage.
damage.
What level of bilirubin will this start to occur? At around 20 milligrams per deciliter. If a baby has HDN, what's the treatment?
Blood transfusion.
If it's at a certain level,
If it's getting to that 20, then they're gonna start looking at exchange transfusion.
but they usually try to do lots. Yeah.
Number one, phototherapy. If it's just normal, basic, mild jaundice, phototherapy. They're gonna put that kid under the lights. If it's really, really mild, they're gonna tell you, set that baby naked in a sunny window. That's the best thing you can do for it. Nothing replaces the sun. In extreme circumstances where we're starting to get to that kernicterus level, exchange transfusion. That's where we're gonna pull blood out, put blood in, pull blood out, put blood in, and we're gonna exchange 2 to 3 full body volumes of blood. Extremely dangerous.
Sounds like it.
Know the different types of transfusion reactions and their causes. There's 4 main types. Anybody wanna give me one of them?
Allergic?
Allergic, there's one. Anaphylactic is a subset of allergic. It's allergic to the extreme.
Yeah. See.
acute hemolytic transfusion reactions,
Chronic.
delayed hemolytic transfusion reactions, febrile non-hemolytic reactions, and allergic. So the causes, acute hemolytic transfusion reactions, most of the time is caused by ABO incompatibility. That is the worst of the worst. We go down to number 9, the symptoms of each type. Symptoms of acute hemolytic: fever, chills, pain. They'll even start turning red at the site of the infusion. If the IV is right here, they'll start to turn red and it'll hurt, because it's reacting that strongly, that quickly as it enters the body. Delayed hemolytic. What's the most common cause of delayed hemolytic?
It's that
transfusion?
antibody. It's one of those antibodies.
KID,
Yeah.
most common.
Or
The
an
delayed one,
antigen-
similar,
antibody.
fever, chills, jaundice, usually no pain. Febrile non-hemolytic, these are the weirdest ones to me. Anybody can think of the cause of that one?
Febrile?
I don't-
This is an antibody to the white cells in that donor here. It's a weird one. This one, you're looking fever, chills, usually headache, and vomiting. The body just goes into like overload. The allergic reaction, what causes allergic reactions?
Food, depending on what they're allergic to.
Usually plasma proteins, usually caused by dietary issues. Something in their plasma, some of the proteins in their plasma, either from diet or environmental contact, is not jiving with your body. Symptoms of allergic reaction, what's the most common?
Hives.
Hives. They start breaking out in a rash, hives, itching. If it starts going to the extreme and it starts looking anaphylactic, then you start getting the wheezing, the coughing, the difficulty breathing, and all that. Oddly enough, the first earliest symptom of an anaphylactic reaction, their lips will start tingling. Just side note, you don't need to know that, do you? What are the required components of a transfusion reaction workup? If somebody calls us and says we have a reaction, what's the very first thing we should check?
Our tests, we need to go back and redo everything to make sure it's not
First thing
something
you
we
need to look
did.
over all the paperwork,
Yeah.
clerical errors. Look for clerical misses. Did we have the right patient and all that stuff? Then we're going to redo everything. Type, screen, cross match. Repeat everything. We're gonna recheck the H and H, see if we even benefit them. Are they actually lower than they were before? Check bilirubin. We're gonna check the urine for hemoglobinuria. Just dip it, see if that strip turns green. And then the very last one's culture. Even though bacterial reactions are far and away the rarest ones, we're gonna culture that bag. What is a DAT? And what does a positive result indicate? So what's DAT stand for?
Direct antigen.
Direct antiglobulin test. What's a positive result indicate?
That their own body is lysed their own cells.
Not necessarily.
They have antigens.
The antibodies are attached to the surface of the red blood cells.
There are antibodies attached to that red cell. That's all the information we have doing the DAT. We don't know where they came from. We don't even know what they are at this point, because that's another test. That's where we have to do some sort of an elution procedure. But the positive tells us there are antibodies attached to this red cell. So if I'm O positive, I take my blood, mix it with some anti-D, shake it up. That anti-D is gonna attach to that red cell, correct?
Yes.
So if I do a DAT on it, that's positive, because that's all that test tells you. There's antibodies on that red cell. Now, of course, if we're doing a baby or anything like that, we gotta take a step farther. Now we gotta know what it is. But for just the DAT, that's all it tells us. What is the purpose of week D testing? And it only has one purpose.
To verify that somebody is RH negative.
Why?
Because if they're a mother, we might need to give them Rogam.
RhoGAM. RhoGAM is the only purpose for week D testing. Because if you're not pregnant, having a baby, anything like, we don't care. If you're week D positive, we're just gonna call you O negative and give you O negative bloods. What difference does it make? But we do week D testing to determine whether or not RhoGAM is necessary. Because if you're O negative, is what we type you at, but then we do a weak D and it's positive, you don't need Brogan. Because you're not RH negative, true.
Does that change their, paperwork at all?
Yes. And you talk about a nightmare. When you had a patient, someone who came in as a teenager and they were typed as O negative, and now they come back several years later and now they're pregnant and we have to do the weak D and now it's positive, or whatever, now we have to go back and start changing paperwork, and that is a real nightmare in blood money, because it is not like you changing somebody's blood type.
Wouldn't think
But it
so.
happens.
How often?
Not very. It is very, very seldom do you find someone who is truly a weak D. It happens, but not very often. Usually, that immediate spin, when you shake it out, if it says negative, it's gonna stay negative. Like I said, you'll get a true weak D less than once a year. So. And the last one, know the procedures. The reason why is you have 2.5 pages of like multiple choice. There's one fill in the blank. And then there are 1, 2, 3,
6? I think there's 6 in all.
4,
Yeah.
basically procedures to write. There are a total of 19 questions.
That's,
So not very many questions.
sounds
How many
scary.
points?
65 points total.
Yeah, so the procedures are most of it.
One of the essays, if I tell you to give me the cause and symptoms of one of these particular transfusion reactions, be able to do that. Oh God, I ain't gonna tell you that if you can't get that. Yeah, so they're basic procedures. All the ones I put on that procedure guide on D2L. Know the how, know the why, know what they're for. As far as the whole first page is like baby stuff, HDN stuff, HDN Rogam questions. HDN Rogam questions again. Then we get 1, 2, 3. There's 3 transfusion reaction type questions. Then we go back to like 4 more baby questions.
That's the whole phone?
The whole thing. Like I said, it's 65 points possible. There's only 19 questions, but these essays, I mean, if you're in the right ballpark, you're gonna at least get partial credit on those, so.
Are there any bonuses?
Hmm?
Are there any bonuses?
There are no bonuses on this.
Okay, question.
Yes, ma'am.
Where we need to list how we do like all our stuff for cost and stuff, is that for the lab or, cause those ones?
No, cause this one is half multiple choice and half like essay stuff. Write the procedure for. like-
Okay, alright, so we need to study that for this,
Yes,
okay.
yes, very much
I was
so.
just trying to make sure which one I need to study.
So we'll come back on the second, that'll be this blood bank test. The third is a practical, it's just a case study. And there's only like 5 questions on it, not that hard.
So it's a paper test? No.
It's paper test. The ninth is actually a practical, where we're gonna go in there, hand you a sample or whatever, say do type screen cross match, or hand it to you and say do a fetal screen on it. Something along that nature, it's gonna be something lab oriented. So I don't think that'll be too big an issue. In my mind, this is not all that difficult, it's pretty straightforward. Cause I didn't set out to make something hard. Actually, I set out to get on Google and steal somebody else's case study, and I couldn't find one I like, I'd write my own, I didn't like that. Then you have this test.
Well, at least you never
Like I
have to
said,
do it
it's,
again.
there's 1 fill in the blank, there's 12 multiple choice, and 6 essays. And one of the essays is a complete code, so. Like I said, if you don't know that one by now, I'll look for it. That's it.
You said one of the what is a complete joke?
Essays.
One of the essays.
Oh,
Yes.
of course.